I haven't done this before, so it's a little awkward, a little weird for me. But this is something that is I'm passionate about, and it hits home. My daughter Haley passed away about 4 months ago. Today is her 4th month of being gone, and it has been one of the hardest trials I've ever gone through. Haley was such a sweet, spunky spirit. She was such a feisty fireball, and ever since she was little, she was always wanting to be older. She knew what she wanted, and she got what she wanted most of the time, but she was so sweet. She loved everybody, and she so badly wanted just to be a friend. She just wanted friends, and no matter how much somebody hurt her, she would forgive them, and she would go back to them and be their friend regardless of what they did to her. Sometimes it took her a little bit longer than others to forgive, but she always forgave, and she would always do these sweet little things for them and make them like little baskets with like little books, like self-care baskets, and she's just very thoughtful. And even if they treated her horrible for years, she would still go back. She was an inspiration to me. She tried her hardest to stay sober. Haley passed away of an overdose, and she was in recovery, and she had a moment of weakness, and she was struggling really bad, and she did try reaching out to others, and they just didn't help her. And it's not their obligation to help. So I don't blame anybody. I don't blame the person who gave her the medication. I don't blame the person she did it with. I don't blame anybody. I don't even blame her, because I understand addiction. I understand the pain, the turmoil, the loss. You feel so lost, and you think nobody can help you. And Haley was just an amazing, sweet girl, and she cared. She cared about her kids and her life, and she was fighting so hard, and unfortunately she lost her battle. How I'm getting through this, sorry if I say a lot. Sometimes I do that when I'm not can't think of the words, so I'm like trying to think of the words at the same time. But Addict to Athlete is the team that I belong to, and I joined them about 8 years ago, and ever since, they have been somebody I can lean on, somebody I could count on, somebody who, if you need them, they will be there. They will have your back. They will hold you up when your legs give out. Addict to Athlete, I was at my daughter's grave a couple weeks ago, and I was so sad and so haunted, and I know that Satan had a hold of me at my daughter's grave because I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to use, I'm an ex-addict, I just didn't want to leave. I wanted to join her, and so I had to reach out, and I reached out to the coach of the team, and reached out to the team, and they all got on the chain, and each one of them did what they could till they could find me. And they just came and sat with me. And one of the ladies sat with me and put her arms around me while I was laying on the grave, and just sat there and cried with me. And that's what kind of team Addict to Athlete is. They don't sit there and talk about addiction. They talk about faith. They talk about how we can replace our addiction with other things that are healthy, with God, with running, with cycling, with outdoor activities, with service. They're just, I know God has a hand to do with Addict to Athlete, and it's not just a team, it's a family. You don't have to be an addict to go. You can be a mother who has a son, a grandmother who has a son or daughter, or anybody. You could be somebody who's never used drugs, but you have a family member you want to understand. It's for everybody. Kids could go, because we don't sit and talk about drugs. It's Addict Athlete is not like NA, not like AA. It is a team, a family of people who care and don't want to lose people to this pandemic, because ultimately losing people to overdoses is a pandemic, and it is a loss, and it's not something any parent, any family member, any brother, sister, grandma, it's not something anybody or friend should go through. And it's just a loss. And so how I made it through so far, and it's not easy. I've had days that are so hard for me. How I've made it is by reaching out and letting people know I'm struggling, letting people know, hey, I missed Haley so bad today. It's unbearable. And not only that, I reached out to God. I'm not perfect. I got mad at God. I didn't understand. I still don't understand, because I was starting to do things right. And Haley was my inspiration. Haley is what got me sober. She was trying her hardest to get sober, and I was watching her, and I was like, what kind of mom am I watching my daughter go through this, and I'm doing it right in front of her? So she was the reason why I quit. She was my reason. She was my sidekick. Haley was an amazing person, and Addict Athlete is the team I chose to be a part of besides God's team. And that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say.